What it be, y'all? Once again, Rezin 47, and we just got done with the first week of the new year. So today I'm going to be sounding off on my most anticipated albums for 2023. Now, this decade so far, as far as music, has been pretty fucking good. Some of my favorite albums of all time by this point have dropped in this decade, and I'll name a couple of them throughout this video. But my list right here is like an all-star lineup of some of my favorite artists of all time, like new blood and old school, across generations. So I got these written down in alphabetical order. Start into it right now. The first one up is gonna be the Ala Zulu and Mikey Clark album. So this was this was announced like midway through 2021 or 2022. I think it was last year. And this is a big fucking deal because not only is Ala Zulu like the fucking torch carriers and the wicked shit right now, but Mike Clark has been out of the underground for 10 to 11 years. Last thing he produced was ICP's Mighty Death Pop, second Joker's card. So this album was in the works. They were working on it, but then it got put on hold like around the fall because ICP, they're doing that whole Seeds of Yum Yum shit, and I think they're gonna do a Woe the Weeping Weirdo was gonna be all done by him. That never came out, so hopefully Zul and Mike Clark are back at it again. And it's also gonna be a very exciting album because, like I said, Mike Clark's been out of it for 10 years, so it's like, what does he sound like now? I've heard the Zul said that like they're gonna one of the songs in here has a beat that was made in like 2006, so that's like the Project Deadman era. So it's gonna be 13 songs. They also said, I can't wait to hear what it sounds like. No, because the last two records that Zul have done, Mausoleum and Necronomicon 2, they went more experimental with the production on that, but because like their main shit is just doing boom bap sounding beats, and that's what they do best, and that's what the wicked shit needs. So hopefully they're going back to basics. Hopefully Mike Clark can meet them with some dark boom bap beats. Regardless of what's gonna sound like, it's gonna be fucking amazing. So that's the Ala Zulu Mikey Clark album. First up. Second up is gonna be from Gmo Ski, the Huckleberry Filth album. This is gonna be his fourth studio album. He dropped his third one, The Filth Element, 2 years ago, and he's my favorite MC of all time. That's an odd pick to some people, but to me, he's the perfect rapper. His voice, his fucking, what else? Like his voice, his style, there's like his skill at wordplay and punchlines, and just saying the most ignorant shit like you could think of. It's all the fucking perfect package for me. So, if you haven't heard Gmoski, you are missing out like a motherfucker. The album I would recommend starting with, the song I'll start off with is Pinkies Up from the aforementioned Filth Element album. That's an anthem song. And the album I start off with is Child in the Filth Factory from 2018, which 5 years this year, I might review that. But Gmo's got his parts of the album done. He's got all his verses and all that recorded. He's just waiting on the features. So hopefully this will be a first quarter like rollout. And like I said, if you want to get into Gmo, start with the Pinkies Up song, and then if you like what you hear, go to the Child in the Filth Factory album. So that's going to be Gmo Ski, Huckleberry Filth. And next up is going to be Ill Bill with his next album called Billy. Ill Bill, he's a household name in the underground. Psychological Records, Uncle Howie Records, a brother of Necro. He was one part of the underground supergroup Nonfiction, part of Heavy Metal Kings with Vinnie Paz, and now, in this decade, one half of Gorilla Twins with Nems, which is also going to be on this list. So he dropped five fucking singles, man. Jesus, I've only heard two of them. Smarten Up with Nems and Root for the Villain with Coogee Rap, which is produced by DJ Muggs. He just said that all the recording for their album is done like this week, so hopefully we get a track list and a release date pretty soon. Well, it's gotta be mixed and mastered first. So he's been talking about this since 2021. I think we are supposed to get that like back then, that we didn't get it last year. So we're gonna get it this year. Ill Bill with Billy. And next up, this is one of my highly fucking most anticipated albums of the year. I would say it's my top 3 most anticipated albums of the year if I had to narrow it down. It's J. Royale with his third LP, The Trilogy Chapter. I talked about J. Royale on my music collection episode 4, and I talked about his 2 classic LPs, The Ivory Stoop from 2018 and The Baltimore Housing Project from 2020. This is going to be the finale in that series, hence the title Trilogy Chapter. He's already got 2 singles out, so the rollout's already in effect. Carlito and Kleinfeld with Coogee Rap, and The Wise and the Kid with Havoc, Mobb Deep. Both produced by his signature producer, Ray Sosa. And my top 3 producers right now with, like, Derringer and Danny LaFleur. He needs to get a lot more recognition for the kind of production he does. It sounds straight out of the 90s. So, he's got there's a 3rd single coming up soon, which is going to be called Criminal Discourse. I can only imagine that's going to be produced by Ray as well. But, the lineup for this record is stacked. He's got Coogee Rap, as I mentioned, Havoc, like I mentioned, but it's also going to have AZ and Styles P. So, I fucking really hope this is the album that blows him up, because he needs to be fucking talked about like, I don't know, like Griselda, fucking Rome Street, Still Got Cooks, and all those other artists are talked about. So, I think he's going to be on his way with this one. And he's in my top 5 current rap artists, and whenever he drops, it's a serious event. So, that's J. Royale, The Trilogy Chapter. I can't wait for the fucking album cover, the tracklist, release date. I know there's going to be CD pre-orders, and I'm definitely going to put mine in. So, that's going to be my 4th one up on this list. Now, next up at number 5, this had to be on the list. She had to be on this list. Another one of my most highly anticipated albums. I am fucking crazy for this fucking artist as far as like what she can do musically. It's gonna be Mary Timony's 5th solo album. Her first one since 2007 is The Shapes We Make. You already know who this. You already should know who this is at this point. If you don't, you have definitely not been listening. But yeah. Mary Timony has been in the game for over 30 years, going on 33 now, and she's always found a way to reinvent herself across every album. So, and for instance, she has proved how nice she is on bass with Hammer the Holes' Careening album that came out last October. So, every instrument she touches just gets reduced to particles. And her solo catalog is split 50-50. On her first 2 albums, like Mountains and The Golden Dove, are more experimental. And then her other 2 ones, X-Hex and The Shapes We Make, are more full-out rock albums. So, 16 years removed from that, it's like, what's the fuck she gonna do? How is she gonna reapproach a solo album after being in bands for so long, like being in Wild Flag, X-Hex, Hammer Holes, like I just said? It's gonna be interesting. There's only like 1 snippet we've heard from the album so far, and it's just this one riff that sounds really cool. So, hopefully we get this album within the first quarter as well. Mixing just got done, and so they're just they gotta wait on the mastering. I can't wait for the fucking singles, the title, the tracklist, artwork, all of that. If CDs are pressed, I'm definitely gonna pre-order mine to show support. And I am fucking dying to see her live. I fucking need her to have a Kansas City date if she even is touring, because I know she's not like big on that shit. But if she does tour, please make Kansas City one of your stops. And I would like to. I'm just dying to see her perform live, let alone meet her. And I'm also curious to see like how many people in Kansas City know about her, because it's like an if you know, you know thing. So, that's Mary Timony's upcoming solo album. And next up is going to be Method Man's new album coming up called Dirty P, which is gonna be produced by Havoc of Mod Deep. Mess been on like a resurrection lately because his verse on "Calling the Machine's Lemon" in the From King to a God album. No, I think that was like his comeback, and then since then he's been doing like all these other different feature verses, and he's all killed them. So hopefully he can hold down his own album again. I think as a solo artist he just gets downplayed too much. I think Tikal is a 10 out of 10 album, and I think Tikal 2000 Judgment Day is an arguable classic. 3 if you count Blackout with Redman. And Havoc's been on a comeback in his own right. Same thing with From King to a God. The song Juvenile Hell on the album he produced. So hopefully the production's fire. Hopefully Meth can come correct with all the lyrics on this album. Good enough. So I think he's gonna have another one of his great moments. So that's Method Man and Havoc, Dirty P. Next at number 7, I mentioned him a little bit earlier. It's gonna be the Nems and Scram Jones album, Rise of the Silverback. Nems is another one of my favorite MCs right now. Again, like I said about Gmo, he's just one of the ideal rappers for me. It's perfect style. He's been talking about this album since like 2020, if I remember correctly. And the title for this was originally like gonna be called Beast Music, but I think Rise of the Silverback is a more appropriate album title. And the first single just dropped back in December. Don't ever disrespect me with Ghostface Killah. Named after his fucking roast series he does on like social media. Fucking hilarious. I fucking love watching that. And I think Ghost brought it with this one. And his verse sounds like he actually wrote it himself, because if you don't know, since 2010ish, he's been having this kid named Sean Wiggs ghostwrite all of his shit, which is fucking pathetic. It's dumbed him down so much, it's sad. He's like almost become something he swore not to be. And Ghost is my top 10 all time for me, so I hope he can start writing his own shit again. Anyways, since the rollout for this album's already underway, hope we get this in the first quarter as well. Nems has got one of my favorite albums of all time with Gorilla Monsoon. That was in 2019. And in 2021, he has like another amazing record called Congo. That was a great album too. So that's the Nems and Scram Jones album, Rise of the Silverback. Next up, it's a fucking crime I never talked about this artist on my channel before. This is kind of like my best kept secret, I guess. But this is a self-named band from Poland. The name of the band is also the name of the front woman, singer/guitarist. It's going to be Nira Nise's debut studio album, yet to be titled. I discovered Nira Nise in 2020, just randomly scrolling through IG, and she was like screaming this one song, and the raspiness in her voice just blew me the fuck away. I was like, I have to hear what she's got. So once I heard House on the Tree and the track single, I was fucking sold. And she's got like her voice, riffs, and her fried screams, and her ear for melody is all so sharp. And I don't know the fucking drummer or bassist names. I would like to know it. But, yeah, anyways, Nira needs to get a lot more recognition in the States, because this is what rock needs more of nowadays. If you miss the heyday of bands like Babes in Toyland, fucking Helium, 7 Year Bitch, etc., like those real kick-ass female singers that can really rock the guitar, this is your calling. They got a song on YouTube called Blame Was Mine, which was the song that I found on IG. It's got hit song written all over it. It sounds like a classic grunge song from 92. And they got a live performances for a handful of other songs that's going to be on the album as well, so half the record has kind of been teased already. But The name is spelled NiranisE. Rock's not dead, people. Look the name up and support truly talented artists. So it's going to be Nira Nise's studio debut album. And next up at number 9 is going to be Stove Got Cooks' Griselda debut album. Now, the rumored, I think the title for this is going to be called Stove Jesus. He said something about that, back in 2021. I think it could have changed since then, but who knows? Maybe this title will be Stove Jesus. But yeah, he still got another one of my favorite MCs right now. When he dropped his debut album Reasonable Drought in 2020, and that record spread like wildfire in the underground. And that's one of my top favorites from that year. He's become like one of the fucking titans in the underground right now, right there with Rome Streets, because they both got signed to Griselda at the same time. He's got a unique voice. He's sharp as fuck with his lyrics. Like the way he does drug raps is just charismatic as fuck. And he's got like a surplus of wordplay and punchlines, and something that's desperately missing in hip hop nowadays, which is a sense of humor. Like he can take like the whole drug shit and just add like a funny twist to it. And he can sing as well. So that's something else that's rare nowadays in rap. Look up the song Cocaine Cologne from Reasonable Drought for more info. So, Stove, he's been doing features on like every Griselda release since he got signed, especially on the West Side's albums. And his skills have gotten a lot sharper. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be his magnum opus. I can't fucking sing it not be. Hope we get a lot of production from like Derringer and Alchemist and Daniel LaFleur. So, yeah, that's going to be Still Got Cooks' Griselda debut album. Supposedly going to be called Stove Jesus. And last but not least, right at number 10 is going to be super famous Fun Time Guys' next studio LP, their fourth one, called I'll Tell You When I Want to Laugh. This is going to be their third release on LLE. Their LLE debut, Don't Hug Me From the Front, is one of my favorite albums of all time by this point, and I've bumped it enough to say that I think it's a Juggalo classic. A-Legs and Whipstick were dead quiet last year. They announced this album at Camp Zool 2, and then kind of went silent about that later. But then, like right at the end of last year around Christmas, they dropped a pretty fucking weak like holiday-themed record called Holiday EP Advent. It just pretty much went in one ear and out the other. Nothing good to that record, but I'm so crazy excited for this album because the Juggalo scene last year was the fucking worst I've ever seen. The fucking scene. It was full of fucking so much bullshit drama, and we didn't get a lot of music that year. But the one artist that did hold it down though amidst all that fuckery was Dario Trill. I talked about him on my fucking favorite albums of 2022, so go check that out if you want to hear more about him. But back to Fun Time. I'm so happy that they're coming back with the new full-length record. I hope we get a good amount of production from Billy Obey, because his production is fucking crazy. And hopefully their boy Jay Reno, because he can make some dope boom bap as well, like Nah We Ain't Cool and How Do You Feel Set in Discography, Hide and Seek After Sunset from Don't Hug Me. So yeah, Fun Time gang on this bitch. Much love to Mr. 8 Legs and Whipstick, two of my favorite MCs right now across like all scenes in hip hop. So those are my top 10, not top 10, but just 10 most anticipated albums for 2023. I'm pretty fucking confident that 2023 is going to be the best year in music that this decade has so far. Some of these albums I've been anticipating for a long time. This is going to be some special shit. And the 3 albums I'm excited for the most are Mary Timony, Alo Zulu, and J Royale, in that order. Hopefully I can make this a creatively productive year myself. I got some shit in the work, like in secrecy. I think it's going to be special, so hopefully I can come through with that promise and give y'all some more content and some more music. So thank y'all for listening. Make sure to like this shit. Comment like what some albums you're looking forward to this year. Subscribe, of course. Notifications if you really like what you're hearing. And until then, see you on the next one. Peace.